Welcome to Cigar Time, the world's leading show all about cigars. How's that for a statement?
It's true.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Very impressive.
The most watched cigar show in the world. Holy mackerel. That's very impressive.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, I see you're all excited.
If it was true.
You know,
It could be.
Okay.
You don't know that it's not.
Did you all
That's
take
true,
an
I don't
overdose of X-Lax this morning? I mean,
No.
They still make X-Lax, don't they?
Yeah.
And you're going to say, what's X-Lax?
I probably would have said one.
Okay.
It's chocolate.
Hey, those of you...
Eat as much as you want. It has no
Yeah, real
calories in
funny.
it.
Those of you at home who have taken the time and effort to write to us and call us and visit our stores, we appreciate your efforts and appreciate your business and appreciate your viewing. And to you dealers out there who we're sending business into by promoting these cigars that we review and sometimes advertise, hey, good for the business, good for the industry. It's all about bringing people into brick and mortar stores with a smile on their face, not on their advertising.
It's true.
So at any rate,
Ooh, nice.
did you like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want him to have a smile.
Well,
on his face
again,
when
welcome,
we leave this-
and the lovely Miss Tia will tell us all about our first cigar as we all light it.
Only cigar, actually.
Only cigar.
The only cigar. But before I get to that, I just want to say it's General Month. This is the end.
Ooh.
Coming
Yeah.
up on General Month for May. It's buy 4, get 1 free of any General product. If you don't know what that is, it's CAO, Punch, Macanudo, Cohiba, Party Guest, La Gloria Cubana,
Boulevard.
and Boulevard.
And what will they
Did I
get?
forget one?
An Excalibur.
An
Excalibur.
Excalibur. Sorry about that.
And what will they get?
Buy 4, get 1 free.
The
You
Traviata.
buy 4, you get a choice.
Oh, you get a Party Guest,
CAO.
The
the
brand
La Gloria
new
Cubana,
Partagas 1845 Extra Fuerte, or a La Gloria Series R Esteli.
which we rated.
That's a great
It is
cigar.
a
That's
great
an awesome
cigar.
It's a very,
Absolutely.
very
So
good
it's
cigar.
way worth it. And Father's Day is coming up, so you might want to take advantage of that deal
Yes, it is.
before General Month is over. So I want to get into the first cigar, the only cigar, is the CAO Heatwave. The wrapper is Ecuadorian. The binder and filler are both Nicaraguan. The only size is 6x54. And the flavor profile is earth, nuts, citrus, and the flavor that I'm coming to really enjoy, the white pepper.
Yeah.
That
White
interesting, distinct flavor. Just want to quick point out about the CAO Heatwave. The production of the cigars was only limited to 1,500 10-count dome boxes, so I guess that's get it while it lasts, right?
Absolutely.
Very rare.
Definitely.
So we're going to smoke this rare cigar.
And we've been lucky enough to get more than our fair share of these.
Yes, it's part of their natural disaster series.
I love that concept.
It makes
I don't know. I got
We got the
Are you
heat
kidding
wave,
me?
Let's talk
the
about that.
cyclone, the hurricane, and the earthquake.
The earthquake,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
but what makes it
All right, you know.
questionable in my mind
Uh-huh.
is that each of those are only available in certain parts of the country.
Right.
And a heat wave up here, that's okay.
Yeah, but you don't like the earthquake in California on the
No,
West
I
Coast? That's
don't.
awesome.
Well, I like it here, but if I'm in
That's-
California, I might
Yeah,
be a
well.
little.
And
And nobody.
Mark.
I
The
think
hurricane
if you're
is down
living in a
south?
trailer park in
Yeah.
Kansas, the tornado
Oh.
Cyclone, it's not the
is not going to
cyclone.
be
The
fun.
cyclone.
Come on, that's great marketing.
Why is cyclone not a tornado?
I don't
It's
know.
a,
Yeah.
a cyclone is an Asian tornado.
In Kansas.
No. They don't call them cyclones on the mainland. They call them cyclones when they come on the ocean into Asia. They call them tornadoes in this country.
Right. So why do they call the cigar the
Why do
know.
birds suddenly appear?
I don't know.
Every
time?
Stop.
You are near?
I'm not going to sing that.
Stop. Thank you. But
Just
I love the
like
marketing
me.
concept. I think it's great.
Yeah, that's cute.
It's a little.
I don't know.
And
To
each,
me, the
and
cigar-
each cigar is a different blend too. So if you find one like the Cyclone or the Hurricane, they're all different blends. I mean,
That's
this heat wave
interesting.
is just for the East Coast people.
Yeah.
So Ecuadorian and Nicaraguan.
Well, let's face it. There's only 1,500 boxes of each, so it's not exactly long. Long line.
Actually, the Cyclone sounds pretty good. It's a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper with Honduran filler and binder.
We're talking about the
That
heat
sounds-
wave
sounds
today.
No, yeah, absolutely.
That one does
The
sound
the Hurricane is Nicaraguan, Honduran, Dominican, Honduran, and Nicaraguan.
We've had the hurricane before, haven't we? I've had the hurricane.
We have.
No.
Yeah.
It's only available in the south.
And the earth.
No, I had one
earthquake-
last year.
Did you? Oh yeah, that's how they got it.
Okay.
It started with the hurricane, and now it was so popular that they're expanding it to all the natural disasters.
I'm glad I'm in the
I
Northeast.
saw that face, Scott.
And the on the West Coast is the earthquake, and that is a Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Honduran and Nicaraguan filler.
So those of our viewers on the West Coast, go out and get these.
Go out and get them, yeah.
And
You know what I think would really be a really, truly cool concept if they had one called the Blizzard.
that they
There you
only sold
go.
in Alaska.
Cool concept? Well, okay.
Well, how about
That would be for
wildfire?
us.
No, I see. I think
Wow.
there should be a.
Wildfire would be good. Be a very
Wild.
full-bodied cigar. That'd
It's a
be
good song too.
What about a tsunami meltdown that they only sold in Japan and it glowed in the dark?
You know,
That's something you'd come up with.
I think this whole segment has turned into one big natural disaster of its own,
Nice.
and it's time to move on.
Nice.
Fortunately,
we can be quiet for the rest of the show. That was good.
cigar, having nothing to do with the marketing concept of the cigar, is a whole other story.
Paul,
but I
are
guess
you
we're not talking about that.
are you
Not
gonna,
yet. We have to smoke it.
We can talk about what we want.
are you
It's our
gonna,
show.
yeah, it's
You're
We
true.
talk
right.
about what we want.
Okay.
That's true. But I think
said,
I think
okay,
Paul
cigar.
would like to pontificate on something else. I think today Paul is going to talk about a subject that you've all been waiting to hear all about: damaged cigars.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to talk about damaged cigars. What I'm
Good.
Gonna,
They
what
don't
I'm
exist.
Gonna talk about are the things that can happen to your cigar after you buy it that may not make you happy. And I'm leaving out things like I don't know, dropping it in the sink or sitting on it.
All of which
Sitting?
we've all done.
All of which
I
Wait a
never
minute.
sat on a cigar.
What you don't you know what that is? That's tush pressed.
butt pressed.
Oh, my
There's
God.
box
Butt pressed.
pressed.
I'm
and
not
butt-
impressed.
Butt pressed. I like butt pressed better.
So, T, how are you?
You're looking very nice today, by the way.
Thank you.
I meant to tell you that.
Yeah,
Very
my
nice.
hair's
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Audience, what do you think? Does Tia look great? She look great? Speak up. Say something.
Oh baby.
Dial one now.
This
You
is
know what? We're going to
recorded.
embarrass you in a little bit.
This
You
is
know what
recorded
today
before a
is.
dead audience.
What's today?
What's today?
The 27th.
The hardest working showman, and he shows up
I don't know
on a
from
day
nothing.
like today.
I'm not saying a word.
Go ahead.
If you all start singing, I walk off the set.
Now that half the audience is gone.
Yeah, right?
Go ahead, Paul.
Let's get rid of the other hand.
Yeah, Paul, take it away.
All right. So there are. You will all have experienced all of these things, unfortunately, at one time or another. But there are a variety of things that can happen to. Put that down. A variety of things that can happen to your cigars that are just bad. The first one, and maybe the least bad one out of them, is what we call delamination. It's when the wrapper just starts to
Never
peel
knew
a
that.
little bit. That can come from a variety of sources. It could be just not quite enough glue on the wrapper when they put it on. More often, it's when two cigars that don't have cellophane on them are in your humidor and they rub against each other. One of them will tend to start to delaminate. Fortunately, this is not a disaster because these are easily repaired. And there are a variety of things you can do. The most common thing is guys will just lick that and it will hopefully stick. You can buy cigar glue products of various sorts that don't affect the way it smokes.
Can't wait to find out how to fix
Yeah,
this.
that might be
You got
too
that?
late.
You have the cigar glue?
Yeah. That one you have to dunk.
Dunk in a bath of glue.
But actually, my personal favorite way of repairing this is to take a biodegradable packing peanut, you know, those things that look like styrofoam but they're not, and if you just wet the end of it on your tongue, it dissolves into cornstarch. And you can use it like a styptic pencil and just rub it under the delaminated part, press it down. It dries instantly. It has no flavor. It doesn't affect the burn. So that's an easy repair.
I never knew that was called delamination.
Delaminate?
I didn't know.
Delaminate,
Yeah.
sure.
Makes
Because
sense.
think about it, the wrapper is a lamination.
I guess.
Is it?
Yes.
I never had it.
Yes.
What country is that?
A laminate?
A laminate?
It goes with the snow tigers.
Like Nicaraguan and
So,
The snow tigers of
Burma.
laminate.
Yeah, lamination.
so this is an Ecuadorian lamination?
A lamination, that's correct.
It sounds so much more sophisticated.
You got the
does.
binder, the filler, and the laminate.
Laminate. This is a Formica cigar from. The second thing that
Hey,
can
wait a
happen.
minute. You know, the rainforest of Brazil, they're killing off the formica trees like crazy. Don't make fun of the formica trees.
You're right.
Where do you think the formica comes from?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
Corinthian
cheap
leather.
and the
put
cheap
that in
version.
your pipe and smoke
The
it.
cheap version
rinse-
is 2 mica.
Rich Corinthian cows.
Yeah.
The second thing that can
Yes.
happen to your cigar is called chipping.
I think I came across a disaster and the show broke out.
He's still talking.
I can stop.
No, I'm talking
No.
about
Ah,
him.
keep talking.
Go ahead.
Chipping is when the edge of your cigar, or the foot, as some people like to call it, gets caught against something, sometimes the box itself, and it pulls on the edge of the cigar and cracks the wrapper. Sometimes that crack can run pretty far up the cigar. It can be repaired in about the same way, and the best way to prevent it is to make sure that your boxes are always tilted so the foot is down, because if it's standing still that way, it won't chip. It's only when they're moving around up and down and hit the box that they begin to chip in that way.
So don't take the box and shake it.
You can't do that.
As
Yeah.
a rule, it's a bad idea.
All right, okay.
Stir it.
Because there's other reasons for that too, but
Like
we
an
don't want to get into
extra
that now.
scratch, Pick it up with that shit.
Well, unfortunately, any box of cigars that I pick up is going to get
It's
chipped.
gonna get shook.
That's why I always think of you. I always think of that famous old rock and roll song, Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
That's me. Okay, the next series of things are actually a little bit more serious because they can spread over the body of the cigar.
Uh-oh, pay attention, everyone.
This is when the wrapper splits kind of all over the place. It can happen very dramatically at the head of the cigar. It can happen somewhere in the middle of the cigar. It can get pretty far advanced as you go. This happens for a couple of reasons, some of which you have control over and some of which you don't. Most cigar wrappers are very, very thin.
Or lamination.
Most cigar laminations are only 2 mica instead of 4 mica. They're very thin.
That was actually pretty good.
And it's a red letter day. And they tend to be a little bit on the fragile side unless they're very, very oily wrappers. What that means is as the inside of the cigar expands and contracts, it puts a lot of tension against the wrapper and it can just cause it to crack or split. Sometimes if a cigar is perhaps slightly underfilled and you pick it up and you hold it or you squeeze it a little bit, if the cigar is underfilled, the wrapper won't flex as much as the empty spots in the cigar do, and that will also cause the wrapper to split.
And that's actually something that happens a lot at this time of year with the weather changing. Rain one day,
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
the next day.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare in the humidors.
That's
Yeah.
true, and also for those of you that smoke outdoors in the winter because you didn't come into your local cigars to smoke in our lounge, if you're smoking outdoors and the filler gets cold, as you smoke the cigar and the filler warms back up, it expands a
Yeah.
lot, and that puts huge amounts of tension on the wrapper and can burst it. Which leads me to our next, it's a related disaster, and that's exploding cigars.
Oh my god.
But
I thought only Groucho Marx did that.
but I don't mean this kind of exploding cigars. Now we get to your favorite, Scott.
Oh, I can't wait.
I meant cigars that really sort of explode in slow motion. And this happens for essentially the same reasons that the smaller cracking can happen, except it's much more dramatic. It happens when your humidification is not stable. If you don't keep your humidor in good shape and the cigar dries out some, and then you notice that your humidity is low, so you put a new device in or you add some more solution, which you can get at your local cigar store.
Oh, what a gratuitous plug.
With Uncle Max's picture on it.
With Uncle Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, well, isn't
We
that
have
good?
our
right?
own cigars.
And if you-
And with his slogan, we all need a good drink now and then.
And if
Somebody
you,
asked me what did that mean, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's because of
Well,
the box. The
yeah,
cigars.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
really
Cigars-
didn't get it, but I got it.
The cigars need moisture, and Uncle Max always needs a drink.
And if you come in while Max
Works
is
in
in the
Horsham.
store, he'll autograph the bottle.
That's true.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And the jars.
Anyway, as you rehumidify your cigar, the filler will absorb moisture much more quickly than the wrapper, So now you have a moist filler and a not so moist wrapper, and when you light it, all of that moisture expands. It turns into steam, and it expands fast enough that it can really blow up the cigar. And I'm sure you've seen it, and I'm sure you hated when it happened. Now you can play with this all you
So,
want.
what do you suggest we do with that?
Maintaining your humidor carefully is the single most important thing you can do to prevent an exploding
Oh my
cigar.
God.
And never, I know some old timers still do this, and I know people right away gravitate to doing this for some reason.
Oh my God.
Never, ever put cigars in the refrigerator.
That's pretty
There-
good.
There is,
Without the wrapper.
there is
Never mind.
a reason where you might, but that involves cigars that sadly have become holy, and we'll go to another episode before we discuss that. But never generally store your cigars in a place that's very cold, because that dries the cigar out, takes the oils out of them, and basically ruins them.
Just so you know, the old school idea of putting a cigar in the refrigerator dates back to when they weren't refrigerators, but when they were ice
Ice
boxes.
boxes, yeah.
Because if you put a cigar in the top of your ice box, it was cool, it was moist, and it was sealed, which is a great place to put
yeah,
a cigar.
yeah.
As soon as you have frost-free refrigerators, what are they doing? They're sucking all the
All the
moisture out of
moisture,
everything.
right?
So yes,
always
don't
wanted to make
don't
a-
put them in your fridge.
I always wanted to get one of those old ice chests and make a humidor out of it.
I'll show you an
Didn't
old
you do that
Dunhill
already?
humidor.
Not with one of those,
I'll
but
show you an old Dunhill humidor that I have in my office, a huge chest that was made probably in the 1890s or early 1900s, that has the, what do you call it? I call it the milk glass.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how they used to do it.
yeah.
Sure.
They
Well,
do.
I think that was very electrifying and
well, he's got more
I-
pictures.
I-
illuminating,
He's got
and
more pictures?
I
More
have two more
pictures.
problems. Well, I have lots of problems, but I have two more problems to talk about.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Briefly.
briefly.
One is called canoeing.
Oh, I like it.
You've all had cigars do this, I'm sure. You hate when it happens. One side burns. At first you think it's just an uneven burn, but no, it gets worse and worse as it goes until there's only one little piece of wrapper holding up all the ash.
You know, that happens to Scott all the time. Not this Scott, the Scott in our Phoenixville
Oh,
store,
yeah,
right?
Phoenixville, yeah, Scott
Always
Nuts, yeah.
happens.
Well, yes,
I,
sure.
you know,
It
I have a
always
customer. The same thing
happens.
happens
It's usually
too.
caused by user error.
The
what I keep
first
telling
and
'em.
primary reason is if you don't light the
Yeah.
cigar properly and you don't rotate it when you're toasting the foot, it will immediately
I should've
start
said
to
his
burn
name.
unevenly, and then it'll just exaggerate itself and get worse and worse. If you happen to be smoking a dark, oily cigar,
Good luck.
that can make it even worse
Yeah.
because the wrapper doesn't want to burn as fast as the filler does.
Right.
And that leads you to the other problem.
You know, before you do that, the best fix on that is, if you don't want to just burn it, put the canoe on the bottom and it fixes itself.
Yeah.
A well-made cigar
Will
will
straighten it out.
generally
It'll
fix
fix itself.
itself, or you can just put the canoe on the bottom and just give it a flash with a torch,
Right,
and that little bit of wrapper will just burn off.
Right.
Or as a complete full-service cigar shop, you can bring your damaged cigar to any cigar shop, and one
We'll
of the
smoke it.
one of the helpful associates. Thanks for stepping on my line, Paul. I really appreciate that. We'll be happy to smoke the rest of it for you.
I didn't think you could possibly.
I did
be
that
saying
to Ed
something
McMahon
so
once.
silly. I'm sorry.
What?
He
Did
shot-
not say something silly. What are you kidding?
I didn't think it would
Have you
be
met
that
him?
silly. Because, as I mentioned, sometimes the wrapper does not want to burn as fast as a filler. You get one last problem on occasion. It's called tunneling. This is the beginning of tunneling, and you can clearly see the filler is burning and the wrapper and the binder are not. And what tends to happen when that happens is it sort of bores a hole through itself as it gets hotter and hotter on the inside. Occasionally, that'll pop up halfway down the cigar and burn its way out to the surface. So you get a funny little hole with smoke coming out of it on the side of your cigar. Or it just burns a seam right down the outer edge of the cigar. It doesn't canoe, it just runs, it's like a canoe on the inside instead of on the outside.
There's the flip side to that too. When just the wrapper burns and the filler doesn't burn, Do you ever see that?
Yeah, that's
it gets hard
rare.
when you try to dump your ash and it's very, very hard. What causes that?
That generally means that your cigar is not properly humidified, but it hasn't been that way for a long time. It's only been that way for a little while. So the wrapper gets a little drier. The filler still retains its moisture. So what happens then is the wrapper wants to just burn up,
Right.
and the filler is burning slow.
Okay.
Speaking of little while, I think it's time to move on and review our CAO Heatwave. And I think we'll start, since Paul's already liquefied his mouth, to continue talking.
He hasn't smoked it up.
I haven't
yet.
smoked it up
Okay,
yet.
well, why don't we start with
somewhere
Scott, who
else.
has smoked enough?
I like the cigar a lot. I'm not getting any of the flavors that you described. I don't know where the heck somebody came up with citrus, but I'm not getting any orange
Maybe
from
the
the
color.
cigar. Maybe
That was
the
Tia.
band.
Hey, it's the color of the band.
You know what? I'm having trouble identifying the flavors. I'm not getting earth, nuts, citrus, white pepper. It's just a really good, smooth cigar.
Yes.
Rob?
I
Yeah.
can't describe the flavors. I just really like it.
Moving along.
That was
No, I
honest.
agree. I don't get any of those either. Maybe the only thing maybe is the earth.
Yes.
I'm getting leather
Really?
in this. Yeah, I'm getting a really hit of leather. It is very smooth, like you said. The wrapper's beautiful.
It's not real strong, although I did
not.
on the retro hail. It
A
did.
little kick when
Yeah.
you blow through your nose.
To me,
correct?
it's on the higher side of medium, I think.
I think it's on the
Yeah.
lower side of me.
It's 60% of medium, not
Okay.
70 or
I
80.
know
I'd say
that.
a higher, mild, lower, medium.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. But
Unlike you guys,
are we-
I am tasting some of that pepper.
I'm
Just a
getting the
little
white
bit.
pepper and the earth, but it's real subtle with the white pepper. It's
I'm
not.
not sure I know what white pepper is.
We've had it before. Remember,
We've had white pepper before.
we've had white pepper before.
I had black pepper or red pepper.
We had it on our white.
Isn't white
I'm
pepper,
serious.
Isn't white pepper
Yeah.
salt?
No. the mild spiciness that people associate with Cameroon wrapper
Yeah,
is
that's
the white
That's a
pepper
general
flavor
statement.
that people
Right.
talk about when they say white pepper.
Okay.
Stop.
And Tia, your
yeah, I kind of
comments?
said mine already.
No, you didn't.
I
Oh, you
did.
said it already?
I did.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh,
I said I
you
got
off.
the earth and a little of the white pepper, but it's
She is
really
getting that.
subtle.
That's correct.
But it's really subtle. But you're right. You can't really distinguish between the flavors in this. You
To
know?
me, this has like a semi-sweet finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
I'll get
picking
that
that
for
up.
sure.
It has a
That's the
semi-sweet
citrus.
finish, and I'm getting the medium intensity of the cigar. It's very tasty. Yeah, I can't discern a whole lot of different stuff, and the difference between black pepper, white pepper, and cayenne pepper is beyond me. Although I know what cayenne pepper is, but it's
Or cumin.
it's an excellent cigar. What does this thing sell for?
$8.
Oh, that's not bad. For a
$8,
limited-
$7.95.
Limited edition
Yeah,
cigar.
something like
For a limited run
edition,
cigar?
Yeah.
Paul?
I like the cigar a lot. I think it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's not incredibly complex. I don't think it's going to change up a lot as you go because the blend is very straightforward, but it has lots of flavor. The flavors are good ones. I do get the spice, but then again, I'm tuned into the pepper and spice flavors because it's an Ecuadorian
Ecuadorian
wrapper.
wrapper, yeah.
And the band totally looks like astrology, right? Reminds me of an astrological.
Reminds me
Astrology.
of like a sun causing heat.
Yeah, astrological.
The sun
Causing a
god.
heat wave.
Yeah,
Really?
that's astrology.
It looks to me like the tattoo that my younger daughter wanted to get around her belly button,
Oh
and I
my
wouldn't
God.
let her.
Good for
I was
you.
thought you were going to say the back. Oof.
Here's a word for that.
Belly
Well, I
button's
think
better.
it's time now to let's put a number on it. Paul, why don't you start with that?
I'd go 475.
Wow.
You stole
Okay.
my you stole
Wow.
my not thunder but heat wave, but
Oh,
yeah, I would go with
right.
475
That
also.
was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I can't argue with you. I mean, it's an excellent cigar. I give it 475 too.
Ah, come on.
Oh, don't worry, she'll be contrary.
Yeah.
Always. That's an Aquarian.
465.
Oh,
Really? No.
Right?
I'm not doing this because of him. I have truly had this in my mind 4.5. Truly.
Okay.
I truly-
all right. So that makes it a 4.69.
Okay.
Excellent cigar.
Well, maybe we could
what's
identify.
interesting
It is
to
very
me?
good.
This is a cigar that got a very good rating from all of us, positive comments from all of us. We're not running a special on it.
We can't. There's none available.
Yeah.
And yet, we all loved it.
Yeah.
And I just point that out to the people out there who think that we give high ratings to cigars
Just
that
because we're trying to
doing a
sell them,
special.
absolutely. That's so untrue.
Just
Well,
so you
I
know.
think based on the sales and the repeat sales of most of our sale items, I think people get it. If we all tend to agree that it's a pretty decent cigar,
It's gonna be.
you know, our smokers out there who are experienced and know what we're talking about, which I think most of the people watching this show fit into that category, kind of know that if we give it a decent rating, it's a decent cigar. All right, well, I
Hope they know that by now.
Retrohaling.
I think we should do something a little different today. Let's have a topic that may not be totally related to cigars, but let's call it, how about this day in history?
I have one.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, that'll be good.
I have one.
What's
Just
that?
one. That's
Okay.
it.
Good. What is
Okay.
it?
I wasn't prepared, but I have one. My mom was born.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
On May
May
27th?
27th.
Oh, I know somebody else who
She's
was
a
born on May
Gemini.
27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
He's-
people. You know who else was born? Perry,
lot of-
Perry Gilpin. Do you know?
Oh, Perry Gilpin.
Perry-
Sure.
She was from Fraser. Her father was Jim O'Brien.
I never.
That's right.
Remember?
It
Yeah.
is from
that's
this area.
right.
Yeah.
I
Did
She
she
was
live?
born-
Did
Lou
she live in
Gossett.
Fraser?
Lou
you know
Gossett
that?
Jr.
I have no idea.
Lou Gossett.
Juicer?
Oh, Lou Gossett Jr. I know.
Lou Gossett Jr. His birthday's today. John Cheever, the author.
The author.
His birthday. Vincent Price, one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
horror
birthdays?
Oh,
Have
wow.
birthdays,
I
yeah.
love him.
Nothing else
Do you
happened?
know
Just
Arthur
people were born.
Toll? His
The
birthday
man
is
in the
today.
middle.
Today?
Happy
No wonder you've been-
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Where's the cake?
We don't have cake.
We're not that prepared.
No.
Wait, weren't you supposed to give him a half-smoked cigar for
you
his
go.
birthday?
No, I think I was supposed to get like a
Nice
Laurel
and
and Hardy
chewed up.
handshake.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be happy to give you one of those.
Did anything happen besides people being born?
Yes.
Yes.
In 1668, 3 colonists were expelled from Massachusetts for being Baptists.
And only Max would have remembered
yeah,
that.
he was there.
He was
probably-
there.
He was there. Also, in 1941, the Bismarck was sunk by the British,
I knew
the
that.
Navy, and the.
Did you know that the
Force.
Golden Gate Bridge was built on this day?
I don't
They
remember.
did it all in one
It
day.
It opened today.
Yeah,
they
no,
built-
no, they
no,
built
they
it.
built it.
They built it all in one day.
They had so many Chinamen. Never mind.
Oh, no. That's a
In
no-no.
1968, after 48 years of coaching, George Hallis retired as
Papa Bear.
the coach of the Bears. Yeah,
Papa Bear.
The Bears.
the Bears.
My daughter's a big Bears fan.
I
Don't
don't
ask.
get that.
How
I-
the hell
don't
did that
ask.
happen?
That's just bad
That's
parenting.
I was
right
just
there.
gonna say.
Years and years ago, she had a boyfriend who got her into watching football.
Well, she
who-
dumped the boyfriend but kept the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
That's bad parenting.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
know.
So get this. In 1873, on this date, the U.S. government issued their very first postcard, and it still hasn't arrived at its destination.
Oh, never saw that coming.
Well, it looks like is there any more because we're starting to.
We got no time left.
We're running out of time.
I got one.
Okay.
We recorded our 33rd show.
That's
There you
true.
go. There's date in history.
Wow. That means we've been doing this for 8 months.
That was smart.
7, 8 months already. Holy
know.
mackerel. Well, time to say goodbye and quickly.
Smoke often and smoke happy, folks.
Hi, Mom. Life's too short to smoke cheap cigars. I didn't even think about it.
Wow.
Looking at me while you say it. That was nice.
What's up?
It's like, hi, Mom.
Rob,
Rob?
Ciao for now, everybody.
and thank you very, very much for giving us 8 wonderful months of bringing cigars into your home and hopefully enjoying what we're putting out here. And we'll see you next Tuesday night at 7:30. And thank you very, very much again for watching. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
And happy birthday.